Hey guys, welcome back to LatiNation. I'm your host, Humberto Guida. Now, I perform stand-up comedy here and there, and the comedy scene is the one place where Latinos are making leaps and bounds. Let's be proud, we're funny people. But out of all the comedians I see on the rise, one sticks out for being what I think is the first quintessential Mexican nerd. He is Jesus Trejo, and his engaging intellectual take on Latino life is turning heads all over Hollywood. Check this out. Brought to you by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state. Jesus Trejo is not your typical comedian.
It's weird, you worry about your parents. I worry about my mom too. Like, I'm at the point where I worry who she hangs out with. There's some bad old ladies out there, you don't know that.
He's also not your typical Latino.
I'll tell you guys a little bit about myself. My name's Jesus Trejo, I'm Mexican. All right. But I'm not a typical Mexican. It's like I'm a Mexican only child. I'm born and raised in Long Beach, California. That's all I know, and I grew up there. I'm an only child, mom and dad, which is pretty rare, when you speak of a Hispanic family, you're like, only child, really, that's it? And that kind of holds the basis of my stand-up comedy. I hate being an only child, man, because it's like, for Christmas one year, my neighbor gave me Monopoly. I'm like, I need more players. I realized I was funny from a young age because I'm funny looking for once, and it's just like after a while, like a funny looking kid like myself, and it also becomes a defense mechanism, it's like you start getting picked on and you're like, hey, how about my face, huh? And then they laugh and they leave you alone, you're like, whew. It just sucks being an only child because it's like people assume, it's like, man, you got everything you wanted, you had no hand-me-downs. Yeah, exactly, huh? It's hard to pick up girls in your mom's jacket, it's horrible. I got into stand-up comedy just, obviously being a fan first. That's where you start, and then you're like, man, I wish I could do that, and in college I started, dabbling in it, and I got up for the first time when I was 20. That was the first time I ever got up, and it was bad, It was one of those deals where the only applause I got was when I got off stage. I'm like, yes, he's off. I think my point of view is very different because I went to college. I never thought that I'd go to college. I went to Cal State Dominguez Hills, graduated with a bachelor's degree, and I was very excited to go to school. Like, being the first in my family to go to school, period, that like me graduating from elementary school was already, it's like, look at this guy, huh? And then to anybody else, it's like, graduated elementary school, but like to my mom and dad, I saw how important that was. And, studying business administration, marketing, like that's where my parents thought I was gonna go. And then it's like, hey, I'm a comic now. It's like, what? We sacrificed so much for you to be a clown? My dad's name is Joseph. My mom's name is Maria. My name's Jesus, so we're like the Holy Family. I remember the first time I went on tour with Pauly Shore. I told my dad, I'm going to Tennessee. Like, I've never been to Tennessee. I'm very excited. I'm going on tour. And his response was like, what, they don't have comedians over there? Why do they need you? I'm like, oh, awesome. At the time, it's kind of like cookie crumble. But, looking back on it, like, that's hilarious. You can't write that. It just happens. And that's what I think I pull a lot of my experiences as a comic, from my experiences, with my family, my upbringing, I just bring that to the table. Like, you go to a grocery store and you see a Mexican family, you don't know if it's a kindergarten class on a field trip or a family. Just hold the rope, mijo, hold the rope. They just keep running. I think now's a good time to be a comedian. It's great to see more Latinos be involved in the business because, there aren't that many. It's very exciting, to see everyone come up together, and I think it's very cool. My thing is this, if you're gonna have 21 kids, that's fine, but you gotta use that to your advantage. You're popping them out, you gotta have something for them to do, right? Just, mijo, do the dishes. One more. Here, help your brother over there, help your brother. Who's doing the laundry? You are, let's go. You guys are awesome. My name's Jesus Trejo, guys.